Hello dear students, in the last class we had discussed the gradient of a scalar field, and today we shall discuss the divergence and curl. Okay, so as the gradient is the operation performed on the scalar field, so divergence is the operation performed on the vector field. Divergence and curl both. Okay, so one by one we shall discuss. So from the definition of surface integral, this A dot ds, that is the surface integral of any vector field A, represents the net outward flow of flux of a vector A from the closed surface S. Okay, so this A dot ds represents the net outward flow of flux of this vector A from the closed surface S. Okay, so the divergence represents the net outward flux flow per unit volume over the closed surface. Okay, and we can represent this divergence by diva. So this diva is equal to del dot A. This is the dot product between the del operator and this vector field A, and it is equal to, if we express it mathematically, so this surface integral of A over this closed surface S upon volume del V and limit del V tending 0. So this is the mathematical representation of the divergence. Okay, so where this del V is the volume enclosed by the surface S in which P point is located. Okay, so we can just take the example. Let's say we have some point in a cuboid. If the point is P, let's say the point is P, and it is enclosed by this surface. Okay, so this the sides or faces of this cuboid, they are the surfaces, and it is enclosed inside this volume V. So then what this divergence represents? This divergence represents the net outward flux flow. Okay, means divergence means diverges. Okay, pointing outward like this. Okay, so the net outward flux flow per unit volume over the closed surface. Okay, so this is the divergence. So mathematical definition we have seen. Now divergence in Cartesian system is this. How it is obtained? We know that your del dot A. So del dot A means what? The del operator is del dot A if we write. So what is the del operator? If we talk about the del operator, it is in Cartesian system, it is del x ax plus del y ay and plus del z az. So this is your del operator. Okay, now dot product of this del operator with a vector. So let's say a vector is your ax in the direction of ax plus ay in the direction of ay and plus az in the direction of az. So if we do the perform the dot product of this del operator with this vector field A, then what we will get? Ax dot ax1, ay dot ay1, az dot az1. So del of ax upon del x, del of ay upon del y, and del of az upon az, del z. So in the same way, this is the divergence of A in Cartesian system. So in the same way, we can have the formulas or relations for divergence of A in cylindrical and spherical coordinate systems. Okay, so these are the relations. Okay. So if we have, it is just simple to estimate or calculate the divergence. That is, if any vector field is A, let's simply do the dot product of this del operator with the vector field, and you will get the divergence. Okay, so it's very simple. Now, what is the significance of this divergence? Okay, so divergence of a vector field represents the limit of field source strength per unit volume or source density. Okay, so it represents basically the limit of this source density. Okay, it is positive at a source point in the field and negative at the sink point, or zero whether there is neither sink nor source. Okay, so at the source point, it is positive, and at the sink point it is negative, and zero where there is neither any sink nor any source. So in the diagram, the divergence of a vector field at point P has been illustrated for all the three conditions. What are the three conditions? That is, first one is this positive divergence, negative divergence, and zero divergence. So in the figure A, in this figure, the divergence of vector field at P point has been illustrated or shown. So here it is the case of positive divergence, because the direction, you can say, it is diverging in the outward direction. So it is positive divergence. Here it is in the negative direction, because the direction of arrow, you can see, it is opposite. And here, since I have already told you that if there is condition that neither sink nor source, then this kind of uh, case will be considered of zero divergence. Okay, so physically what we can say, that divergence of a vector field A at a given point is what? It is a measure of how much the field diverges or from that point. Okay, so let's say if you have this P point, so what is the meaning of the divergence? Divergence is the measure that how much the field is diverging. Okay, how much the field is diverging from this point. So this is, it is a measure. Okay, the divergence is the measure. So in first figure, the divergence of vector field at this point P is positive. Okay, why positive? Because the vector diverges or spreads out. Okay, it is divergence. The name divergence has been derived from the word diverge. Diverge means spreading out. Okay, so in this, at this condition, in the A, figure A, in this condition at P point, the divergence is considered positive, because these vectors, you can see the direction of arrows, the vectors are pointing in outward direction, so it is diverges. Okay, or spreads out at P. Okay, and here it has negative divergence, because here it is converging. Okay, so it is converging, it converges, means the direction is opposite, it is out of this point P, spreading out of P, and it is converging at P. Okay, towards P, so the direction is negative. And in the third case, it has zero divergence. Okay, so this definition holds good. The divergence of a vector field represents the limit of field source strength per unit volume, or simply the source density. Okay, now there are some properties of the divergence of a vector field. Okay, so what are the properties? The properties is, first property, it produces a scalar field. Obviously, why it is producing a scalar field? Because the dot product is there, and dot product is always considered a scalar, because dot product of two vectors, let's say del operator is also a vector and A is vector field, so this will give you the scalar. Okay, so dot product of two vectors gives the scalar, that's why the divergence of a vector field is scalar. Okay, the divergence of scalar V div makes no sense. Okay, del dot A plus B equal to what? Distributive property, del dot A plus del dot B. Okay, we can separate it. And del dot VA is what? V del dot A and A dot del B. Okay. So these are the four properties of divergence of a vector field. Now let us come to the curl of a vector. So what is curl? So curl of any vector A is an axial or rotational vector whose magnitude is the maximum circulation of A per unit area as the area tends to 0, and whose direction is normal direction of the area when the area is oriented so as to make the circulation maximum. Okay, so curl is represented by this mathematical operation equation. Mathematically, we can represent the curl of a vector field, that curl A equal to del cross A. So first thing is, mathematically, if you have to perform or you have to obtain the curl of a vector, the del operator should have the cross product with that vector, and then you will get the curl. And how this curl is represented mathematically? So this is A dot dl closed line integral, okay, upon del s and limit del s tending 0. So here the definition is, it is the, what it represents, the maximum circulation of A per unit area as the area tends to 0. Okay, so this is showing the maximum circulation per unit area, this A dot closed line integral upon del s. Okay, and the direction is normal direction of the area when the area is oriented so as to make the circulation maximum. So this an is the showing the, this unit vector is showing the direction. So del s is the area bounded by the curve L, and an is the unit vector normal to the surface del s. Okay, and it is simply determined using the right hand rule. Okay, that we will see. So in Cartesian system, obviously del cross A. So what is your del? So your del is del x ax plus del y ay and plus del z az. So this is a vector operator del. Okay, and what is A in Cartesian? Ax. So A vector is your ax plus ay plus az in the direction of az. So this is your A vector. So if we perform the cross product, so we can represent it in the form of matrix determinant. So ax, ay, az unit vectors we will write, and then del x, del y, the components can be written. By solving this determinant, we can get the value of curl. So in Cartesian, in cylindrical and spherical coordinates, in all the three coordinates, we have the separate relations for each of them. Okay, so in this way we can get the curl of a vector field. Now moving ahead, what are the properties? What are the properties of curl? So that we will see now. So the curl of a vector field is another vector field, obviously, because it is a cross product. So let's say del cross A. If you are performing a cross product between the two vectors, obviously that will result into a vector. So the cross product of two vectors, it is vector. And in the previous case when I was discussing the divergence, so that there was a dot product, and dot product of two vectors would be scalar. But in this case, since the curl is obtained by cross product operation between this del vector and the vector field for which the curl is to be determined, so it is a vector. So the curl of a vector field is another vector field. The curl of a scalar field makes no sense, okay, because curl is always operated on a vector field. Del cross A plus B, distributive property, del cross A plus del cross B, it holds good. Del cross A cross B, the formula is this relation you can use, and del cross V into A, that is V del cross A and del V cross A. So the divergence of curl of a vector field vanishes. That is, this is a very important relation, and that should be noted. The divergence of curl of a vector field is 0. The divergence of curl of a vector field is 0. So this relation is very important to remember. If you are performing the divergence of curl of a vector field, it is 0. And also the curl of the gradient of a scalar field vanishes. Okay, so again, if you are going to perform the curl of the gradient of any scalar field, then also you will have this 0. So these are the two important relations that you should remember. Now the curl of any vector field at P point has been represented and or illustrated, you can say, in the two figures A and B. Okay, so here I had already discussed that the direction, see, the direction is determined using right hand rule. Okay, so if you apply right hand rule, okay, so if you put your right hand at this point with your thumb pointing outward, okay, then curling of fingers will give you the direction. So if you keep your thumb at this point, right hand thumb, and curl your fingers, so if the thumb is pointing outward, then this will give you the, this curling of fingers will give you the direction of this curl, and this, the direction is, if you keep your thumb outward, the direction will be how much? What will be the direction? The direction will be the anti-clockwise direction. This is the anti-clockwise direction. And at P point in figure B, at this point P, the curl is 0. Okay, the curl is 0 because there is no circulation at all. Okay, and curl is, in the definition of curl, it is clearly defined that it should have the circulation along that point. Okay, so that's why this vector field has 0 curl in figure B. Okay, now we have seen the divergence and curl. Now it is important to discuss the two theorems based on them. Okay, so on divergence theorem, on divergence, there is a divergence theorem, and on curl there is another theorem, that is Stokes theorem. So the two theorems are required to be discussed here. Okay, so what is this divergence theorem? Right, what is this divergence theorem? What is this divergence theorem? Okay, so what is divergence theorem? So the divergence theorem states that the total outward flux, so let me write, the divergence theorem states that, it states that the total outward, the total outward flux of a vector field A, a vector field A through the closed surface S is the same as, or you can say equal to, same as the volume integral of the divergence divergence of A. Okay, so now let us read it again. The divergence theorem states that the total outward flux of a vector field A through the closed surface, this is one part, and is same as or equal to the volume integral of the divergence of A, is another part. So the first part is the total outward flux of a vector field A through the closed surface. So how do we represent this? We represent this as the closed surface integral of the vector field A. So this, the total outward flux of a vector field A through the closed surface, as this is represented by this term, and is same as or equal to, so we write equal, and the volume integral of the divergence of A. So what is divergence of A? The divergence of A is del dot A. Okay, and volume integral, so volume integral means dv. Okay, and this integration is showing 1. So this is your mathematical expression for this divergence theorem. So this is a statement and this is the mathematical expression. Okay, now this theorem applies to any volume V bounded by closed surface S. Okay, so this is the divergence theorem. Now moving on to the next theorem, and that is based on the curl of vector field, and that is the Stokes theorem. Okay, so we will discuss the Stokes theorem. Next theorem is the Stokes theorem. So what is Stokes theorem? So let me write it first. It states that Stokes theorem states that the circulation of a vector field A around a closed path around a closed path L is equal to the surface integral of the curl of A of the curl of A over the open surface S over the open surface S bounded by L, provided that your vector A and this del cross A, hence the curl, okay, are continuous on surface S. Okay, so now start reading again. It states that the circulation of a vector field A around a closed path L is equal to the surface integral of the curl of A over the open surface S bounded by L. So till this point, if we read it, then we can come across the mathematical equation. So now start reading from this. The circulation of a vector field A around a closed path L. So only this statement can be represented by which mathematical term? It can be represented by the closed line integral. Okay, closed line integral over this path L. So this is A dot dl. See the circulation of vector field A, this vector field A around a closed path L. So it is the closed line integral A dot dl. Now this is equal to the surface integral of the curl of A. Okay. So first of all, there is a curl of A. So that is del cross A. How do we represent the curl of A? Del cross A. And now it is saying surface integral. So surface integral can be represented like this. This means this del cross A and dot ds. Okay, and this is the surface integral. So this one is equal to this. So basically, if we see, so this has the relation. Means line integral can be converted into surface integral and vice versa. Okay, so line integral relationship between this line integral and surface integral is given by Stokes theorem, and the surface integral and volume integral, the relation between this surface integral and volume integral, and this is given by the divergence theorem. So in this way we can simply represent the divergence and curl of a vector field, and we have also explained the divergence theorem and Stokes theorem. Okay, now we shall solve a simple numerical, so that so determine the divergence of the vector field. So the question is determine the divergence of the following vector field. Following vector field. Okay, so you have to determine the divergence. A very simple question. So the first part is this P equals to x square yz ax and plus xz az. So there is no component along y, and this is your P point. Okay, sorry, this P is the vector field, and you have to determine the divergence. Okay, so divergence of P means what? If we come across the solution, how can we represent the divergence of P? So del dot P, we know that the divergence is the dot product of this del operator with the vector field. So del dot P equals to what we can write? It is del x ax plus this del y ay and plus this del z az. Okay, this is your del operator and dot product of this P. So what is P? This P we will write here. So it is x square yz ax and plus xz az. Okay, now if you have to perform the dot product, so obviously we have in this vector field P we have the two components only, ax and az, ay is not there, so obviously that will be 0. This ax and az component del x of this part and del z of this xz. So if we write, then it will be, sorry, it can be simplified as del x of this x square yz and plus this part is not there, so we'll write directly del z of this xz. Okay, now this is a partial differentiation, so it is with respect to x. The remaining other terms will be considered constant. So this x square, the differentiation of x square with respect to x will be 2x, and remaining terms will appear as it is. So 2x y z, and then plus with respect to z, x is constant, so only x will appear. So this is the divergence of this vector field P. Okay. Similarly, if we have another question, and if it is in the cylindrical or spherical system, we can solve it. Okay. So I'm giving this question. Find the divergence. Find the divergence of the following vector field, and the vector field is represented by Q, and Q equals to rho sine phi a rho plus rho square z a phi plus z cos phi a z. Okay, so this is the vector field, and you have to calculate the divergence. So it's clearly seen that the coordinates are rho, phi and z, so it's the cylindrical, given in the cylindrical coordinate system. So you have to use the formula for cylindrical coordinate system and get the divergence. So this I think you can solve. So this one is your homework, and in the next class we will discuss further. Thank you.